whatever your comfortable prayer position is. I like to get both of my feet solid on the ground so that I feel grounded. It allows me to sit up a little taller, so I let myself know that I know who I am and whose I am and what I am. And recognizing that spirit that is within me, that partnership with God that I am activating at all times, sometimes on purpose, and sometimes I find out about it later. But taking this time to recognize that I am one with God. I am one with all people. I am one with all life. I am one with the one. Just God. We are each expressions of that. We are each connected through those expressions. The way we treat anyone else on the planet, any life on the planet, is how we are treating ourselves, because we are one with all life. Knowing that, acknowledging that, we take the time right now to set the intentions for love, peace, joy, and all things good. And we carry that forward into this service today. And with that, we let it be well. We let it be so, and so it is, and amen. All right, I'm going to invite up Brenda.
Good morning, everyone. Thank you, Wally, for that. Good morning and welcome home. I'm going to ask you all to repeat after me. If you're watching virtually, please type this in the comments. Everyone look around at your neighbor and repeat after me. Good morning.
Good morning.
I love you this morning.
I love you this morning.
And I sure do appreciate you being here.
I sure do appreciate you being here.
To our virtual church family, please know we are saying that to you as well. Help us grow this loving community by liking, commenting, sharing, and subscribing to our pages. And now, if you'll join me in reading our August affirmations. They're not showing, I don't think. All right. I don't know if they're in the bulletin, so I'll say, my blessings are many and arrive with everything I need to put them into action. I need God, and God needs me. We have a magnificent partnership. And then our unity principles. If you'll join me in reading our 5 foundational principles. There is only one ultimate power in the universe. That power is God, and its nature is absolute, unchanging good. Human beings were created from absolute good, and so our inherent nature is also good. We call the inherent goodness of human beings the Christ. Our thoughts are our creative power. Whatever we persistently focus our thoughts and feelings upon manifests in our lives. Prayer and meditation are essential elements of the spiritual life because they focus our thoughts on our oneness with God and all creation. It is not enough to know the truth. We must put that truth into action in our lives. We must live the truth we know. And now we'll have our call to worship song by Nick Boulay.
So hopefully y'all have lyric sheets for this. Ooh. Swing wide the door, the time is right. Swing wide the doors to let in the light. Bring in the dawn for humankind. Swing wide the door for this heart of mine. Here we go now. Ooh. Swing wide the door, the time is right. Swing wide the door to let in the light. Bring in the dawn for humankind. Swing wide the door for this heart of mine. I'm not holding it in anymore. I'm gonna shout it out loud. I understand now what I'm here for and what this life is about. It's about love, it's about laughter, it's about comfort and smiles. It's about love, it's about kindness, it's about hearts open wide. It's about love, it's about passion, it's about taking a chance. It's about love, it's about service, it's about lending a hand. About lending a hand. Swing wide the door, the time is right. Swing wide the door to let in the light. Bring in the dawn for humankind. Swing wide the door to this heart of mine. There's a voice that I've heard for years. I've learned to keep it inside. And now it's coming in loud and clear. I want a deeper life. It's about love, it's about laughter, it's about comfort and smiles. It's about love, it's about kindness, it's about hearts open wide. It's about love, it's about passion, it's about taking a chance. It's about love, it's about service, it's about lending a hand. About lending a hand. Swing wide the door, the time is right. Swing wide the doors to let in the light. Bring in the dawn for humankind. Swing wide the doors of this heart of mine. Swing wide the door, the time is right. Swing wide the doors to let in the light. Bring in the dawn for humankind. Swing wide the door for this heart of mine. Swing wide the door to this heart of mine.
Woohoo! Good job, everybody. All right, so now is our time to pass the peace, which is to walk around and greet everybody. And now some people want your good old hugs, and some may rather a handshake, and some people might want to nod at you. So just pay attention to them as you greet them and give them some love and swing wide your own doors. All right. Eric, you can give us whatever music you want during that. Just something. Thanks. All right, if everybody will start working your way back to your seat, we'll invite Charlotte to come up and prepare the chaplain portion of the service. Charlotte, you can come on up. Inviting everybody to their seats. Just be careful of the cord here. No, I think you're up. Charlotte, up.
Well, I don't know about anybody else, but I just absolutely love the words to Swing Wide the Doors. Isn't that wonderful? It's about love, about laughter, comfort and smiles, kindness, hearts open wide, passion, taking a chance, service, and lending a hand. I'll let you tell that. Well, Wally said he was challenged on one of those, but he's working on it. So, where are my prayers? So today I am your prayer chaplain, and Nana is also here as an honorary prayer chaplain. And so if you have a need for prayer after the service, just know I'm here and available. Okay.
They were in Lynchburg last week, and Nana became an honorary prayer chaplain there, and she prayed with 3 people after service there. So don't y'all let Lynchburg outdo y'all. At least 4 of y'all need to go pray with Nana today.
Yeah, we had a wonderful time there. They were just very, very, yep, open and receptive to us. So anyway, no matter what you may be going through, growing through, enjoying in your life, actually, if you would like to have somebody just listen to you talk about it, we prayer chaplains are available for that. And seek us out after the service. And if you also want to be included on our prayer list, there's a form right up here on that little small table that you can fill out and then put it in the prayer box, and then I will take those prayers and pray on them after the service, and then we send them to Unity Village, where they're then prayed on for 30 days, 24 hours a day. So we know that prayer does what? Prayer works. Great. So let's do this together. Let's practice together now. Pray, not practice, but let's do it. So I invite you to think of someone or something you'd like to send some love to as we pray together today. Dear, dear Spirit, we know that you are without limits. And from this place of truth, this realization of our innate oneness with you, this recognition that you are the very life we live. From this place, we hold the intention of wholeness for ourselves, our loved ones, our world, and for all the specific requests we have placed in our prayer box, and for those who have specifically asked for our prayers, and for any names you silently wish to add to this list, as we hold D. Anderson and Treva Whitmore in our hearts and in our prayers. So let us affirm that these loved ones are whole, perfect, and complete. we are standing with them knowing that God is already actively working in partnership with each person to grow through the appearance of challenges. May each person to whom we have sent our heart energy experience the joy of their oneness with you, O Holy Spirit. May that joy so fill each of their lives that they see and know only wholeness, no matter what the outward circumstances. And we too are filled with deep gratitude for that God presence within us, knowing that in all moments, in every place, that presence is with us. May we feel it deep within our souls, the peace and goodwill towards all people and all situations, in the sure knowledge that God's divine timing, God's divine order is at work in each and every situation. With that in mind, let us meditate on the following words. Everywhere we walk, let it be on your path, O God. Everything we see, let it be through your eyes, O Spirit. Everything we do, let it be your will, O Holy Presence. For every hardship we face, help us to place it in your hands, O loving Comforter. And help us always to remember that wherever we are, God is, and all is well. And so it is. Amen.
Anthony is going to treat us to some awesome music. Are you using, which mic are you using? This one?
Yeah, I can use that one.
Okay. It sets on a low one.
That's fine. I never played a Rubus echoey before. Yeah, that's cool. Okay, so I'm gonna play two songs.
You're gonna have to talk into the mic.
Oh, right, duh.
Yeah.
Hello.
Speak into the other.
Speak into the one that's the height of your mouth. There you go.
Hi. Okay, I'm gonna be playing two songs. Both of them are from my school. One of them is the alma mater, which translates to nurturing mother, which is appropriate. That one's slow, and then the second one is called Hail to the Buccaneers, and that's my school's like winning spirit song. And that one's faster and more celebratory, so I'll play that one second. So yeah. faster one. Sounds really cool in the big room.
Did y'all notice that his cell phone is attached to the trumpet and the sheet music was on that? And I know that people in the room who are my age or older can appreciate how small that is. Youth. It's an awesome thing. Thank you for sharing that with us. I feel like it was especially that second one. Then we're all like, go into spirit. Eric, I'm going to, if it's okay, well, I hope it's okay because I'm going to do it. I don't want to trip. There we go. That's for when Phoenix comes and gives us some other great music shortly. Okay, so today, I've been trying to pull lessons from some of the Unity classic books. And in this book, Teach Us to Pray, which was written by Charles and Cora Fillmore. Cora was Charles's second wife and his former secretary. But she had the stuff down. So by the time she became Mrs. Fillmore, she'd been typing all the stuff, If you've ever worked in an office, the assistants and secretaries usually know more than the boss. There is a chapter that I kind of renamed it. What we're calling today's lesson is Law, Not Magic. And they had titled a chapter, Not Magic, but Law. And I just went with what I thought was a little more of a positive swing on it. It's a good book, and I actually bought an extra one of these. I was at McKay's in Mebane a week or two ago, and they had a copy of it for 75 cents. And I told the person, when we sold all the books that I took to twice, I was like, I may have actually already sold this to you, but I'm going to buy it back for 75 cents. So I have an extra copy in case anybody's like, hey, I want one of those to read for a while. So, and we're working on setting up in the office space kind of a lending library. You don't have to sign it out. It'd be nice when you're done with it if you bring it back, but nobody's, getting your social security number, to track it down. So we're working on having more of those books. And if you have any of the Unity classics that are just filling my shelves and, you want to bring some here, we want people to have access to as much of this information as possible. We're also, by the way, if you remember in the last space, we had kind of a store in the back of the room with crochet things that you could buy and the 12 power cards and all that. And so we're going to kind of set that up in the office space as well. Suzanne was decorating it. It already makes the office look better now. So you'll check those out. And lastly, I want to welcome Merritt for being with us today. Today would have been Suki's 86th, is that correct? 86th birthday. And so Merritt let Ellie know that he was going to join us today. And yes. And so I immediately reached out to Tish and asked her if she could make a birthday cake. And you all will be happy to know that the diabetic did not order a sugar-free cake. It's got all your sugar in it and all the good stuff. And Miranda's not here either, so it didn't have to be gluten-free either. There I am. There are some sugar-free brownies. Are they gluten-free as well? Gluten-free, sugar-free brownies, if you are like me. But there's also real cake and with colorful stuff on it to honor Suki. But, I always intend to do this, and Elizabeth Forrest in Winston is so much better about this than me, is, as anyone else here that's had a birthday in August? Happy birthday. And since I forget most of the time, is there anybody in here that's going to have a birthday in September? Early happy birthdays. All right, so we're going to eat cake for all of you as well as we celebrate Suki's birthday and all of your birthdays today after service in the training room. There's coffee already made and cake and all the fun stuff. So let's look at this topic. The first time I really heard this being discussed was when the movie The Secret came out, and once it really hit, and then people were really using it. But then there kind of became the one of the elements that they didn't necessarily cover in that film, while they gave some really good information and taught what Unity's been teaching for a really long time, is they talked about the affirmation, but they kind of presented it as just say the affirmation and it'll come, like it was a magic spell, right? Like we're all Samantha Stevens on Bewitched. And so the people who weren't already in this movement kind of, they tried some of it out, and then they were like, well, this didn't work. And it's like, well, no, it's not a spell. It's not, you got to say these exact words in this exact order. And if you forget one of them, then you got an episode of Bewitched where they run around and try and remember what the spell was so they can undo it, right? It's not that. It's not a spell. It's about using affirmations, and sometimes especially when it's more challenging topics that we're working on, right? Using denials and then affirmations. And we're going to talk more about that, I think, week after next. I like to talk a lot about the prayer stuff as we lead into World Day of Prayer every year. But so within that, it's about setting the intention, right? It's about the way that I always look to it from a biblical story is when Jesus was about to heal someone, he said, do you believe I can do this? And the person said yes, and then they got healed, right? It wasn't magic. Yes, didn't become a magic spell that made it work, but yes, absolutely was required for it to work, because the healing didn't come from Jesus. Do y'all know that? Jesus just simply was, when two or three are gathered together, these things will be true. Jesus was the agreeer in it and helping say the words. But any healing that ever happened for anyone, and look, there's a lot of things in the Bible that you're like, well, yeah, that's metaphorical, or, that was a parable. That was just meant as an example. It wasn't a biography, right? But I'm prepared to fully agree that Jesus did work as a healer. I believe that there are people walking on the planet in this very moment, either in this city or somewhere, who are doing work as healers. But the important part to understand is the healing's not coming from another person. I can say all kinds of things to you. I could read the exact words that Jesus used or any other great healer that has ever walked, and it might work and it might not, because it's all, as they say, in the eye of the beholder. You have to agree. You have to, when you say the words of an affirmation, saying the words are good. And sometimes maybe saying the words is all you can do. And so that's good. That's at least a step forward. But if I say I am a billionaire, right now I am a billionaire, and I keep thinking about the balance of my checking account, I'm not going to see the billions because I'm focused on significantly less than that, right? But if I say I'm a billionaire and I walk around and act like it all day, maybe I'm not already spending like it, but I believe it. And when I walk into my little 2-bedroom, 1-bath house, I see the 5 other bedrooms or the 6 other, I see it and I believe it. I there is a high probability that I can get to living that kind of life simply by always accepting that that is the truth of who I am. There's a cool story of, I think it was Carol Burnett, won an Emmy once. And that night, she'd gone to one of the after parties, but then she was like, she just wanted to go home. And she got home, and I think somebody had spilled something, or she spilled something. Something got spilt on the kitchen floor. And she's still in her gown that she won an Emmy in, mopping her kitchen floor. And so it's like the Emmy didn't stop her from still wanting a clean kitchen floor, right? So like the maid didn't have to get called in. And when she picked up the mop and started cleaning, she didn't become a maid. She was still an Emmy winner, right? It's just one thing versus the other. So you can live in one space. You can be as single can be and live as though you are married, right? If that's your intent, if that's where you want to go, you can call upon that spouse. And one of the things you start asking is, well, is there any room for their stuff in my closet? Have I cleared out any drawers for them to put anything in? Or am I just flapping my gums and don't? And I'm speaking of experience, right? There are many times that I've talked about wanting a good, solid partner, and then a couple of times when somebody needed a place to stay, that was like, well, I mean, you can stay 2 or 3 days, but, you can't move in because I like living alone. Let's see if we can get the house next door for you. So, a couple of things here. Charles Fillmore wrote, in this book, Teach Us to Pray, being determined, one can project an isolated idea and get results without conforming to the accepted laws of human relationships. Charles tends to talk very technical in a lot of ways. And so what he's saying there is, don't let your current or past experience define what you can have and create in your life moving forward. Don't let the current moment, right? Or I have a friend who I have mostly known through social media, but I met when I was campaigning for office back in 2020. And this guy's had a rough go at life and has given me my opportunity, my first pastoral care for someone in jail this past week, right? And talking, and he's had such negative experiences that he believes it, right? He believes that past defines who he is and who he can be. And so that's part of what we're talking about. But that's important. You don't have to have broken a bunch of laws or done a bunch of things that, might be breaking laws to define who you are. You can simply have been like, yeah, I'm just not good at that love thing. I just can't find that thing. Or, I just can't be on time to save my life. Lie, right? Or, unity, we're never on. No, I don't know that about unity at all. One of our 12 powers is order. Right? So, no, I don't know that. But I do know that the biggest lesson I ever learned in that, I was temping for a period of time at the Soap Opera General Hospital in their production office. And they didn't really care when I showed up. I mean, if I showed up hours later, they would have cared. But if I was in a 30-minute ballpark, they didn't really care, and they were going to pay me the same anyway. And, I remember one day I left the house. I said, I'm going to be there on time today. And I left so early, I'm like, I got time to swing by and get a bagel. And then I was still 20 minutes late getting there from the time that was set, right? And then I worked, and that was a job I really liked. I was working in TV. That's what I always wanted, right? Then I was working a telemarketing job selling extended car warranties. I only called people who filled out forms, though. But on that job, you would get bonuses if you sold so many a day. If you sell this many, you're going to get a $20 bonus, whatever. But if you clocked in even 1 minute late, you didn't qualify for the bonuses of the day. So that shifted I just can't get there on time to save my life, to I'm here 20 to 30 minutes early every single day because I ain't gonna miss that money, right? I'm here for money and I'm gonna get as much of it as is available to me in that day. And so it shifted. So it's always about perspective. And so what this teaches in law versus magic is it's not just, oh, I say these words or I do these certain activities and I manifest these wonderful things. It's about setting the intent and believing it and finding the perspective that allows you to really believe it before you see it or before you're fully experiencing it. Let's see what this was in the book too, that Jesus taught us we could do everything he did. He said the way to do it was to seek and ye shall find, knock and it shall be opened unto you. That you have to, you're like, well, no, well, I hadn't heard from them in a month of Sundays. Well, have you called them? Have you gone knocking? Have you done something about it? Right? Have you even given some thought? You don't have to do manual labor for it. What have you set your mind towards sending something in that direction of whatever that thing is? It also stated in there that separateness feelings come when we think of ourselves as independent of mind. Now, there was another verse that I'm going to skip to. This came from John 15:5, and this is Jesus speaking to somebody. I am the vine, you are the branches. If you remain in me and I in you, you will bear much fruit. Apart from me, you can do nothing. That last part sounds rough. It's like, oh, I got to have you or I can't have anything. This isn't Jesus the man speaking. This is a lot of times what we hear, especially quoted from Jesus, was that Christ mind part, that Jesus is actually so connected to the Christ, and the Christ is not some separate individual. Every single one of you have the exact same amount of Christ that Jesus had, right? So it's not Jesus' last name Christ, and it's just attached to that man. It's every bit of you in that. And it's simply the partnership of that spiritual truth that is God and the physical truth that is our expression of God working from God mind. That's the Christ. And so from that space speaking, it's like when you connect with me, the manifestation happens through the God mind. So when we get into that spiritual place, and but you don't have to do any of the traditional prayers. You don't have to hit your knees and get your hands just right. You can walk and talk it, or you can sit or you can lay down. But getting quiet is key because it comes from a still small voice. Now, right, we're not talking voice chords. We're not talking physical voice. We're talking the information whispers to us because we have that whole free will thing going at all times. So we have to decide, hey, I want to work through my God mind on this. I want to use my Christ mind so that I'm creating the very best. Because otherwise, when I'm like, oh, I just feel awful today, and I'm just going to talk about can I show you my scars, and let me tell you how bad this really is, and let me tell you about every sensation of the bad, and let me spend as much time with the bad, and then complain that there's not good. Well, I've not given good any of my attention to get any good in that moment. Right? And so that's where we can certainly help people. You can go and sit and hold somebody's hand in the hospital. You are not going to heal them, but you certainly will be participating in the healing if you can help them not think about the beeping machine, but think about the beating of the heart. Right? And that love. And we can give in that way. And as we give to other people, and sometimes finding someone that it is so important to give to like that is the best way for us to get in touch with that best part of ourselves. Right? Because for me talking to me about me, I'm like, I'm going to get that done. I absolutely get that done. Well, tomorrow we'll work on but if suddenly there's this other person that needs it, right? So if I'm talking about my own personal meditation, I might miss it some days because I'm like, no, I don't have time to do that. I don't do that. I heard some meditation teacher say at one point that if you say you don't have time to meditate for 15 minutes, then you need to meditate for 30. Because when you meditate, you will create more time. It doesn't mean that extra seconds or minutes or hours are added to the clock. It means that you are more focused and you are able to accomplish more in the minute than you were able to accomplish in 5 before that, simply by getting yourself in touch with the very best part of you, not someone else. Not God, the old man with the long beard sitting on a cloud. God, all the good, loving thoughts that flow through you, to you, for you, and as you all day, every day. I'm going to close with this one piece, which is Charles wrote, and let me say what I was just saying again, so that as you hear this, you connect to both sides of it, right? And he talks about God and man in this quote. Man also means human, not physical males, right? This means all people. And God means you, all your good energy, all your good love and thoughts and feel good. That's what we're talking about. And Charles wrote, God is power. Man is powerful. God is wisdom. Man is wise. God is substance. Man is form and shape. God is love. Man is loving. God is life. Man is living. God is mind. Man is the thinker. God is truth. Man is truthful, hopefully. And he wrote in there, too, that spiritual realization, within spiritual realization, science recognizes the physical phases of the kingdom, but misses the mental. And in order to really use that Christ mind within us, we need both. We need to understand physically what happens in the world and how life manifests, and like reading about how a businessman created, came from nothing and built all the stuff. Like hearing those kinds of human experience stories are wonderful and can really inspire you. And then when you tie into that all the good that is within you and the God that is within you that allows you to see and believe those things in your life before you have physical evidence of them, that's the merger of it. And then what came to me as I wrote those notes that I'll close on, which is, it is when we merge our spiritual thoughts and feelings that we give birth to the act of Christ in our own lives. What does that mean exactly? Metaphysically, whenever we're telling the story of Joseph and Mary and becoming the parents of Jesus, and Jesus bringing out and really introducing us to the Christ mind, in order to get to that Christ, Joseph and Mary represent love and wisdom, meaning our feeling and our thinking. Our feeling and our thinking, when we align both our good feeling with our good thinking thoughts, that's when we connect and we can bring out the full God partnership that we have to use all day, every day. But most of the time, we're not. It's like, oh, I can't think about that right now. It's like, you really should think about that right now, right? So when you're like, I want the very best in this situation of this thing that I'm working on right now, or if I'm in the midst of something that's not been going well, I'm going to stop. Instead of carrying this forward, I'm going to see this moment and every moment forward with my God thinking and feeling combine, so that I get the very best that is available to me. And I'm going to do it with expectation of getting the very best, because I am one with God. I am in partnership with the creator of all things good. And in that partnership, I should expect the fruits that come from the very best good has to offer. And then we move forward in that. I love you. I bless you. I behold the Christ that absolutely is you. And thank you for being here today. So now is our time to do our love offerings and our tithes. And I know that many of us give electronically. And if you do that, I invite you to just send loving energy into the room and into the bags that are collecting the physical gifts in the space. And Diane, I know I will forget if I don't say it right now. There is a check I need to give back to you, Diane. There's a check we have that's like a blank check of yours that I need to get back to you. I just remembered it, so I'm like, say it now. I have witnesses. Okay, so let's just do, what time? Let's do just the short version of Thank You, God, for Everything. If you've never heard the song, the entire lyrics, Thank You, God, for Everything. 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 I almost started singing the whole one. And you can bring those down. And then let us all affirm together. Divine love through me blesses and multiplies all that I have, all that I give, and all that I receive. And I am grateful, and call it good. Thank you. Okay, and as Brenda comes up, I'm just making sure. Linda texted me. I don't see it in here. So Linda Cohen, mentioned to us last week that she's got a workshop. It's a near-death experience workshop that she's going to do on, I think it's the 14th. It's the second Sunday of September. And she is hoping to have at least 10 people in that workshop. And only 2 people have signed up so far. So she would like for you to look at the e-blast this coming Tuesday and make sure to sign up for that. And Brenda will tell you about all our other good stuff coming. Look at you styling and profiling.
With one eye. All right. Thank you. All right. So Wally just gave you one announcement about the workshop. The other thing is, if you are a first-time visitor or you haven't been with us in a long time, please raise your hand, and if you haven't received a welcome packet, one of our ushers will give you a welcome packet. In that packet, there's a visitor connection card. We would like for you to fill that out and give it to an usher so that we can stay in touch with you. I don't see any new hands. All right. World Day of Prayer, you heard that announcement earlier. If you haven't signed up on the clipboard, that's going around for a time to pray for an hour. We want to make sure you do that. So that's September 10th and 11th. You also should have received another handout about the activities during that 2-day period. A really important part of the World Day of Prayer is that 24-hour prayer vigil that's going to go on. And so we really want people to sign up. You can also sign up in Tuesday's weekly newsletter. All right, whether you have a musical background or have always wanted to play a musical instrument, we are looking for members to join the New Thought Musicians, Armand and Angelina, for a fun play shop exploring native flutes in the Fillmore Room on September 16th and 16th at 6:30 p.m. And then also, we need 4 teams of 3 or more people to order food and drink after service to take care of that for us. And we want people to sign up for that so we can have that active by September. And then I remind you to let our chaplains pray with you after service. You already met Charlotte. Can I have all the chaplains present? Raise your hand. I see hands. Yes, so please reach out to one of the chaplains to pray with you. And now we will have music from Phoenix, one of our very own.
Hello down here. It's not. This is. Okay. Oh, I turned it like way down. Is that too loud? Little. You got it. You got it. Okay. Hi guys. This is a song that I sang here before a long time ago. It is called "Reflecting Light" by Sam Phillips. Now that I've worn out the world, I'm on my knees in fascination, looking through the night, and the moon's never seen me before. But I'm reflecting light. I rode the pain down, got off and looked up, looked into the night, the lost open windows all around. My dark heart lit up the sky. But now that I've worn out the world, I'm on my knees in fascination, looking through the night, and the moon's never seen me before. But I'm reflecting light. Give up the ground under your feet. Hold on to nothing for good. Turn and run at the mean dogs chasing you. Stand alone and misunderstood. Oh, and now that I've worn out the world, I'm on my knees in fascination, looking through the night, and the moon's never seen me before. But I'm reflecting light. But I'm reflecting light. Thank you.
Blessed by our youth today with great music. And also thank you all for your music before service today too. And if you missed any of that, you can check our YouTube channel and subscribe. Is anybody in here a subscribers to our YouTube channel? It's like doubled in the last year, the people. So we put our the service, the hour-long service up every week. Generally, a song before service as an individual song, and then on Wednesdays we publish a guided meditation every Wednesday that you can. They're anywhere from 10 minutes to, I think I recorded one this week that was 16. So anyway, there are always meditations on there too. So there's lots of good stuff for you on there. Next week, like 8 weeks ago, I heard a song for the first time by Conway Twitty called Goodbye Time. And when I posted something about it on Facebook, you know, I live in the country. And those folks were like, what do you mean you never heard of that song before now? But anyway, it's a good song, and there's a good spiritual message in it. So I'm going to sing the song Goodbye Time next Sunday, and then we're going to do a lesson on that. And then Nick will be providing music for us. And I never did print lyrics out for the peace song. Let's stand, if you will, physically or in spirit. You can hold hands if you'd like. Or not. If you'd rather not for any reason, just hold your hands prayerfully in the air. And let us do the peace song together. And y'all just sing real loud because, you know. Yes, there's peace on earth, and let it begin with me. Let there be peace on earth, the peace that was meant to be, with God as creator, family all are we. Let us walk with each other in perfect harmony. Let these begin with me. Let this be the moment now. With every step I take, let this be my joyous vow. To take each moment and live each moment in peace eternally. Let there be peace on earth, and let it begin with me. And together let us affirm, the light of God surrounds us, the love of God enfolds us, the power of God protects us, and the presence of God watches over us. Wherever we are, love is, peace is, light is, God is, and all is well. Go have a great week on purpose, everybody, and come join us for some birthday cake celebrating. Flyers.